Set small, achievable goals every day. James Clear wrote a book called Atomic Habits. I couldn't put it down. He tells a story in there about a young banker in British Columbia who, when he first started in sales, he put 2 glass jars on his desk. And one glass jar was filled with 100 large paper clips. And he would make one phone call and then move one paper clip to the empty jar. And at the end of the day, his goal was to move 100 paper clips. And he did that every day for 90 days. 100 phone calls a day. End of 2 years, he was not only the top salesman, but he'd been promoted to vice president of the bank. And a year later, he took a much larger offer from a big wealth management firm. And he was a millionaire by the time he was 40. It is such a great story because it's so simple. Just move one paper clip over. Measure and track. Set small, achievable goals every day. Pick a number. Is it 10? Is it 20? Is it 30? How to Sell Anything to Anybody by Joe Girard. Girard used to he used to sell cars in Detroit, and he'd go to Detroit Lions games, and whenever they'd score a touchdown, he'd throw 100 of his business cards up in the air. He said the only problem is Detroit didn't score a lot of touchdowns back then. But he would invariably do it at least once. 100 a day. Number 3, ask delighted clients for 2 names. Referrals are the lifeblood of my business. I tell clients, if you're happy with what I do, introduce me to 2 people that you trust and like. And 70 to 80% of my business is referrals. If you do a good job and you go the extra mile and separate yourself from everybody else by caring more, handwritten notes, follow-up, personal time, that extra mile matters. It's lonely on the extra mile. There's nobody else there. If you do that, you have a right to ask for referrals. Number 4, qualify, qualify, qualify. More importantly, disqualify. Spend time with people who are ready and walk away from people who aren't. It's okay. Some people aren't ready. But when they are, then make the offer. Number 5, dominate the listening. I already talked about that. Number 6, remember the platinum rule. Everybody knows the golden rule, right? What's the golden rule? Do unto others they'd have do to you, right? The platinum rule says treat people the way they want to be treated. When you meet a new prospect for the first time, send them an email, send them a text, leave a voicemail. And however they respond to you, that's how you communicate with that person. George really likes emails, so that's how we talk. He's an email guy, at least he is with me. My son's college coach, who got Coach of the Year the same year my son got Player of the Year, down in Laredo, Texas, would never return my phone calls. But one time I texted him, he sent me back a 500-word text like that. And I went, holy cow. So now I was using the text to set up the phone call. Stop trying to get people to communicate the way you like to and communicate the way they do. And watch what happens to the level of communication. Number 7, gain and advance. An advance is the next step. An advance is the next thing, whatever that is. But an advance is something Neil Rackham in his book Spend Selling said is absolutely essential for a long-term business relationship. I just like asking, what's the next step for us? Or what would you like the next step to be? Or where do we go from here? Assuming you like what you heard, what's next? It's very dignified when you ask that. Number 8, put together a great proposal. You guys already have the websites. I've seen, saw your videos. Walk them through. Watch the video. Use the tools you're given. It's not more information you need. It's a better use of what you already have. Take a look and master what you're given. You're given all the tools you need to succeed, to win, if you will. Number 9, ask for the sale. Unassertive salespeople have skinny kids. How many remember your first dance? High school dance? I do. Leaning against the wall, all the guys on one side, all the girls on the other. My friend Brian goes, oh, I'd dance with her. And he pointed to Jill. Now, Jill had just moved from Florida. She was 5 foot nothing, 90 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, cheerleader, smart, beautiful. I said, Brian, go ask her. You're 6'5" and 240 pounds, for the love of God. Go ask her. He goes, I'm not going over there. What was he afraid of? That's the obvious answer, rejection. What he was really afraid of was the long walk back. If she said no, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, I said, okay, I'm coming up with a new plan. If girl number 1 says no, I'm going to ask girl number 2. If she says no, I'm going to ask girl number 3. If she says no, I'm going to ask girl. If all 11 girls say no, I'm going out the side door and getting drunk. Drown my sorrows. Little did I know, girl number 5 said, I would love to dance, and I was dancing like a white guy. And after 3 dances, she goes, you want to get out of here? I said, sure, I don't have a car. She goes, I do. I go, how old are you? She goes, I'm a senior. I said, here at Woodway? She goes, no, Meadowdale. I go, oh. So I got my arm around her. I go, Brian, she's a senior at Meadowdale. And he's still leaning against the wall going, I'd dance with her. I've never been shy. And I'm not afraid of the long walk back. And you ought not either, because it's a numbers game.